Okay, today we have a battle against somewhat original battler, although quite a stally match if you ask me. And it's against flamerrin. Whatever, I'll just call him Flame, cause I can't really pronounce the full damn thing because I suck with names, you know. That's that X-Quest tradition. Anyway, we both lead with Quillfishers, and by the way, he does really have a very nice trainer name, doesn't he? Back to the point, we both lead with Quillfishers, and my first thought was break the sash, which is why I went for the Aqua Tail. Thankfully he does go for the Taunt, and thankfully I didn't go for the Endure. Now I'm thinking he's going to Rain Dance, so I'm just gonna go for the Aqua Tail, because if he does Rain Dance, it'll get boosted anyway, and if it doesn't KO, it's probably gonna explode, and if it explodes, I can go out to my Probopass, except he kinda whirlpools me and then Destiny Bonds, so essentially our Quillfishers just killed each other without doing anything extra, so Instead of sending out my Scarfer now, I just went with what my head told me to and sent out my Blackhound, which is my choice Bender, which does take that Flareon quite low but not quite dead, and he scary faces me. I'm like, what? And then I'm thinking superpower, but then again, if he had it, he would have used it earlier, right? Well, wrong, cause it's weird and my Blackhound went down, so of course my Glaceon, he's gonna quick attack me because desperate. Hey! Nothing you can say, nothing's gonna change what you've done to me. Now it's time to shine, I'm gonna take what's mine. You gotta play my It's been quite a while since I last killed a Flareon, and darn, it felt so good. Anyway, out comes a stupid Girafarig. I'm thinking Calm Mind, so I'm thinking Ice Beam for more damage, and then I freeze it. So I'm thinking Glaceon, you are awesome, but on this occasion you're too awesome. So I'm just gonna sit here and Shadow Ball until it thaws. So la 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 na 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 no la la no la 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 no 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 na 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 na, and then he Thunder Waves my sub-select Glaceon. I should have just killed him off, but I had to play the nice guy for some dumbass reason that I cannot comprehend. Oh well. And then he starts to Amnesia. Yeah, Amnesia. X-Square, you're just too soft. Anyway, I'm gonna send out my Peekaboo, hoping that he doesn't have Fatal Power Fighting or some stupid shit like that, and understandably it doesn't have it, cause it's a wall, you know. And I Toxic the incoming Sandslash, which is always a good thing, so I'm just gonna do my physical wall, my S0, but he goes for the Super Fang, which is lame, because I just lost half of my HP, almost. Anyway, I know that my S0 can stall it out because it's an S0. Normally the hunters wouldn't really love to see Sandslashes, but the S0 is special because it's completely and utterly legit, unlike the other hunters. Yeah, I have to admit that the other hunters have to be Pokesave a little bit by me, but this thing is completely legit, hence it's female thingamajig, because I'd rather my hunters be male, but that's a little trivial thing, and we are sitting here waiting for him, yada yada, and he seemingly doesn't realize this, but there's a Star War that he couldn't win, so I was actually anticipating a switch, hence the Whirlwind, and out comes a Dewdong or a Dewgong, and I'm thinking, okay, my hunter can't stay in, although it can probably wall that thing as well. So I go to my Peekaboo expecting some kind of ice attack, and he fakes out, I'm fine with that, and then he Aqua Jets, and I'm like, that won't do much, and he really doesn't do too much, and I was predicting a switch back to the Sandslash, since I'm predicting him to predict my Toxic, which I do use now, but he just subs. I don't know if he predicted that, but that was painful for me because, well, my Toxic failed, and Toxic hitting but failing is painful. Anyway, I'm not out of tricks yet. I have Power Gem for stupid things like that, and I'm so glad that I have Power Gem and Earth Power instead of Explosion, but I kinda wish I had Explosion at some other time, but So I'm gonna predict, You know what? I messed up. I'm not even gonna bother now. Anyway, out comes a stupid Sand Slash, and because it's a Sand Slash, even I'm thinking ground moves, because even if it's super original, as the name suggests, I'm thinking it'll be ridiculous that it wouldn't have a stat move. So he goes for the Super Fang. My S0 doesn't really mind that because I can just roost it off, who cares? Except he predicts that and magnitudes and does nothing. Ah ha ha ha. Yeah, I mean that's originality and all, and I shouldn't be laughing at it, but I still find Earthquake to be more reliable because base 100 power, you know. So he decides to be an ass and switch at the worst possible time ever as I go for the fly. So now I can't switch, and then he's gonna get a free substitute. Except I can just whirlwind that away at the price of taking one weak ice shot, which does around a quarter, maybe not even, and I whirlwind out another ice type, and I'm like, what? Those two are the ice types that I've really wanted to try using, but I couldn't because Glaceon. So I'm just gonna go for the I forget. And then he hails. So seeing another opportunity for Glaceon to play the star of this game, to be the star of this game, I send it out, and then he spikes. So yay, free Glaceon switching. He's got to be the biggest moron ever for using hail against X squared. Pardon me for saying it, but anyone who uses hail against me is a moron. There is no working your way around that. So his magnitude gets another lame 4 again, and because pro base 110 defense, my sub doesn't even break, and that stupid Sand Slash dies. So now my Glaceon has turned into something stally with substitute and snow cloak, except he kinda outstalls me with protect there. And he's gonna be an annoying ass and switch to that Dugong as I Shadow Ball it, which does kill it to not. So the hail kinda stops, he fakes me out, it doesn't even break my sub, which genuinely surprised the both of us a lot. And that stupid Dugong goes down. For some reason I don't really recall taking that stupid Dugong out later on in the game, so I was kinda worried, so it led to kind of a long stall war. And I get Parahex, which allows him to wish up and get an amnesia off, which isn't nice at all because now my Ice Beam won't kill and it wouldn't freeze anymore, although it wouldn't really crit, which wasn't really what I was hoping for. But now I see that my Glaceon is getting outstalled, something that's rarely ever happening, if it ever happened before, which is why I have to go to my Whirlwinder, my S0, which does have a handy Toxic to deal with that stupid special defense raising thing, which it's kinda odd that he's setting up amnesia, seeing that I do have my S0 remaining and that he can't take out my S0 in one hit, although I do think that he amnesia all this time because he was paranoid on my Glaceon, which is a reasonable thing to be paranoid of because my Glaceon can really kick butt, as illustrated from this battle. Anyway, I'm gonna whirlwind him out because I don't really want his switch to heal what he wants to heal, which is why I went for the whirlwind, and out comes the stupid Girafarig back. So I'm like, welcome back, Girafarig. You are boring us to death. Anyway, out comes that stupid Glalie, I believe. Yep, Glalie. And then he switch heals it up, and I'm thinking, okay, he might predict a switch to my Glaceon and go for something like Explosion, and I'm gonna take my time to Toxic it, except he goes for the Icy Wind. So now my S0 is like the slowest thing on earth, aside from Shaco maybe, I don't know. So he goes for another Icy Wind, and now I'm thinking, S0, I love you from the bottom of my heart, you are very useful, you have helped me a lot, but I've got to let you go because I want an FD sweep, and I'm sick of Star Wars. I know, I gotta let you go. Anyway, enough of my epic ass singing. I'm gonna send out my FD to hopefully go for a sweep, and this is where I forgot that I took out the stupid Dugong because I was fearing the thick fat instead of hydration, which is why I'm reluctant to send out my FD. But that stupid Dugong is gone. All he has left is a stupid Girafarig, which will not take a stab, base 120 flare bits to the face, to both of his faces really. Anyway, that's a good game, it was really fun, although quite stally. And yeah, goodbye peoples.